Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be talking about basil and how you can have nearly unlimited supply of it. After you seed it once, you can propagate it using just a cup of water. So come along with me and on this episode I'm going to show you how I do that. So whenever I harvest basil, I take the tops off completely. And I put it into some water. And as you can see, it grows roots. That's all you have to do. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. So this one is ready to be planted out. But let me show you one that I planted out recently after doing the root cuttings in the cup of water to show you how big and how fast they recover and how large they get. So here's an example. These were root cuttings. You know? And now, look at all of this. I have another whole plant here. In fact, it's trying to flower in some places. Like right here. You can see that? It's about to flower. And so, I'll show you how I harvest this. So, all I'm going to do is just come down here and cut some of this plant up. Now, I planted this one from cuttings. You know, I planted seed, and then and then the seeds grew, and they grew tall, like this, and then I cut them to harvest. See? And now I'll do the same thing here. I'll cut it like right there. And I'll cut this one right here. You always harvest basil from the top. Now you see this here? That'll be fine. And then new shoots will grow from here. And it'll grow tall again. It'll grow tall from here out. And so then this one's pretty sufficiently harvested. And now we have this material that we've harvested off of it. This is both food and propagation material. Let me show you how. So let's swing over here. So the way I'm going to prepare this is, first I'm going to take these ones out because they've been rooted. They're ready to go into soil. Now you can plant these in soil indoors or outdoors. It doesn't matter. The one thing that we can continue doing this forever and ever. We can continue to keep a plant alive forever and ever. However, basil does not like frost. So as soon as you get a frost, the plant's going to die. So if you want to keep your basil alive, you're going to have some plants indoors. Anyways, I'm going to pop these leaves off. These leaves are food. We're going to go wash these and use them for cooking. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to actually just take this off. Because what we're looking for is a stem. Because as you see, when you have a nice long stem, it really likes to root. So that's what we're looking for. And then I'm actually just going to take this top off. And you can use scissors if you like. You can cut it down as deep as you want. And then I'll take this for food and this for food. So all this was cut off for food. And this is placed into the water. And we'll have 2 new shoots coming out. This will root, and we'll have 2 new shoots that we can harvest from. Now, we're not done. This one still has plenty on it. So we're going to take this for food, take this for food, take this for food. Yeah, we'll just take all that off. And then the very top, we're going to take the flower off. So we're going to go right here and just take the flower off. And then we're going to take these big leaves off. Those are not necessary. So we'll keep all that for food. And this is what will root. It doesn't look like much, but it'll work. As you can see, I did that same thing here with these smaller ones. And then finally we have this material here. We're just going to break that off. Take all the big leaves off. We don't need any big leaves. Take the flower head off. Big leaves off. Something like that. This will probably be good. I'm going to try rooting this, and I'll end up with 2 plants. Because if I plant it sideways, if I were to plant this plant sideways, I could get a couple shoots out. Well, I can obviously get 2 shoots. So, toss that in the water and let it root. And that's really all you have to it. Now, all the rest of this is going to be harvested for food. I might even get away with rooting this one if I wanted. So these ones that were in the cup, these need to get planted because they have roots. This stuff that I cut off, this needs to get washed and used as food, for food. I put it in my tomato sauces. Really, really, really tasty. You can also make pestos out of it. If you grow your own garlic, you can make a pesto. But yeah, basil, it's unbelievable, the smell. And you can see that flower head there. This is where the seed would come. But if you cut this flower head off, you stunt it. And that's actually what you want to do, because you don't want it to be growing flowers. You want it to be growing these luscious leaves, because this is the part you eat. You can also eat all parts of the basil plant, including the seeds, but this is the green leaves. That's the part that you make a lot of the food out of. So I'm just going to put this aside in a shady area with some water. We're going to let it sprout. You can also do this indoors. You can also put your cup indoors. That's fine as well. And yeah, and let me go show you how I plant these parts of the basil. It's a little windy. So we'll bring this basil this way. Ooh, look at the sunflowers. Most of my sunflowers got ate by this really beast of a squirrel. Got some eggplants going on in here. Some hot peppers. I hope I get a couple more harvests of eggplant. I got lots of flowers, for sure. Look at this. Eggplants. My wife is a queen at preparing and preserving eggplant. It's almost like eating chicken cutlets the way we make them. But I digress. Let's go over and plant these basils that we have in our hand. I'm going to show you these basils here are the original plants that I planted. And I've been harvesting them heavily. Every 1 to 2 weeks I do the same process. So you could see some flowers here. Also basil. So I would come in and I would do the same process here. I'd cut this flower head off. It wasn't very hard. Let these grow and to produce flower heads. Meanwhile, down below, there's more going on. So yeah, those were the first plants I planted from seed. And all of the rest of the basils I have on my property came from those like 4 plants. So I went from 4 plants to 5 or 6 plants to 10 plants to 20 plants. And here are the rest that I planted. These were much smaller. These looked a lot like this when I planted them. You could see that they're catching right up. Simply beautiful. And so all I'm going to do is move some of this out of the way. I'm going to do a little bit of weeding just to get some of this wild amaranth and wild sorrel out of the way. Both edible, but I don't feel like growing that there. I feel like growing some basil. And then I need some way of digging, and I don't have a spade or anything. So I'm looking for a stick. There we go. You can actually see the basil roots from over here growing all the way over here. And then I take my basil plant, I plug it in. Same thing here. Oops. And I really should use the correct tools, but that's okay. I'll just put that there like that and give it a cover. You don't have to be perfect, folks. These weren't planted perfectly, but they figure out what to do. And so I'll just continue. There's some soft soil here. I'll just toss it in next to these parsnips. This is the better one. I'll lean it towards the sun. There we go. Just cover those roots and pack them in. Sorry, worm. And just make sure it can stand. There we are. Perfect. And yeah, they'll fill in. Like, for example, I need to harvest this right here. This is too big. So, pinch it. Once it gets to a certain height, I like to pinch it. Right? You can see how this multiplies. You can see how it's just forever food. Thanks for watching, everybody. You can have infinite basil at your house, just like me. It's really impressive how well it grows and how well, like, it multiplies. I'll tell you, I probably will never buy basil ever again now that I've learned how to do this. And of course, you can share these plants this way. You can plant yourself 4 basil plants, which is more than enough for your family probably per year. And you can make plants to sell. You can make plants to give away. You can help foster the love of growing and the love of taking care of our world and our own bodies. So yeah, try it out. Try to grow your own basil. Try to propagate it. It's absolutely, positively the easiest plant to grow once you get it established. Just keep in mind, it does not like the cold. It will not survive frost. So if you do want to keep your basil plants alive, make sure you have at least a couple of them indoors next to a very sunny window. They love the heat. They don't mind it to be too dry. They don't mind it to be too wet. They're really just a great plant to start with. They smell beautiful. You can dry the leaves. All you have to do is just leave them out and let them dry out and to turn into dry, crumbly leaves, and then you just crumble them up and store them in a tight container. There's no waste, just surplus. So give it a try. I showed you exactly how I do it. I'm going to do some more, and I hope you do too. Let me know in the comment below if there's any other plants that you can do this with. Because if you know about them, I want to know about them. Thank you. Tune in again. Click that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Really, the algorithm wants my content to be shared with as many people as possible. The ethos needs to hear this information. We can grow our own food, even if it's just our own herbs. So give it a try. Hit the like button. I figured, why not? I'll show you how I dry it out. So right now I'm just using a cardboard box. Really? Yeah. It's out of the sun, but it does get warm in this area. This is my shed. You've seen pictures of it. Anyways, so this is ready to go. This is dried completely out. So what I would do is I would take the next batch, put it in here once it's dry. I don't want it to be dripping because this cardboard will mold out. But the dry leaves in here, I can crush these up and put them into containers now. So this is the finished product when you want to preserve it. But I like to eat it fresh in my sauces, and I like to eat it fresh and my cooking. So, but you can also save it, and this is what you would buy at a store when you buy dried herbs. This is what you're buying. You're buying this crushed up. Thanks for watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and click that like button for more videos just like it.